meditacionesdiarias.com.
Welcome to our devotional for March 24th, 2023. This is Xiomara Perdomo speaking from Queens, New York. Today's devotional is titled From Anonymity to a Place in History. Judges chapter 4 verse 18 reads, "And Jael went out to meet Sisera and said to him, 'Turn aside, my lord, turn aside to me, do not fear.' And when he had turned aside with her into the tent, she covered him with a blanket." Prosperity led the Israelites away from the commitment they had made together with Joshua. In those days, there was no king in Israel. Everyone did what was right in his own eyes. See Judges chapter 17 verse 6. They lived in a vicious circle of intermittent obedience. In those days, they had Deborah as their judge and prophetess. She was known as a mediator, counselor, planner, and composer of songs. There are no limits to the power of someone who places themselves under the hands of God Omnipotent. Deborah communicated to Barak that he should lead the war against Jabin, king of Canaan, who had oppressed Israel for 20 years. Barak refused to accept the call unless Deborah went with him. She accepted and prophesied that the final victory would be thanks to another woman, Jael. God gave the victory to Barak and Deborah in their fight against Jabin and Sisera, the captain of the enemy army. Sisera fled to where he thought he still had allies, to the Kenites. That is where Jael, the wife of Eber the Kenite, appeared. Have you ever done something right that appeared to be wrong? Jael, a married woman, invited Sisera to her tent where her husband was not there. She offered him milk to drink. She covered him with a blanket and waited for him to fall asleep. It all looked like something sinful, but that is not what was going on in Jael's mind. She did not have military weapons, but she decided to fight in Israel's favor. In those days, women were in charge of setting up and taking down the tents, using stakes and hammers. Jael had these tools at her disposal and knew how to use them. Overcoming her fears, she drove a stake through Sisera's temples. She could have made excuses. It wasn't her fight, Sisera was an ally of her nation and a friend of her husband's, etc. But she decided to do the right thing at the right time. No one expected that a great and fearful warrior like Sisera would fall at the hands of a woman, Jael in this case. Her strength and courage took her from anonymity to forming part of the genealogy of Jesus along with her husband Eber. See Luke chapter 3 verse 35. God has people who do not practice our faith, but who in the time of need will come over to the Lord's ranks. Whether you are talented like Deborah or without any apparent preparation like Jael, God can use you. Whatever your marital status, He has a plan for you, and He will provide you with wisdom and strength to win your battles, resist the temptations of God's enemy, and do the right thing at the right time. Amen. Thank you for listening to our devotional for today. Don't forget to share with your friends and family.
Thank you for joining us. We invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel at m.youtube.com/c/Meditaciones Diarias and to follow us on our social media in Instagram at www.instagram.com/meditacionesdiarias7. May God bless you and your family.